On January 19, 2026, China's National Bureau of Statistics released its annual figures. By the end of 2025, China's total population stood at 1.40489 billion, down 3.39 million from the previous year. This marks the fourth consecutive year of population decline. On the very same day, another number was released. GDP grew by 5.0% year over year, basically hitting the government's target. So here we are, steady economic growth on one side, a shrinking population on the other, two curves moving in opposite directions inside the same country. China's population peaked in 2021 and has fallen every year since. In 2022, it dropped by 850,000. In 2023, by 2.08 million. In 2024, by 1.39 million. And in 2025, by 3.39 million. That's a total decline of 7.71 million in just 4 years. The reason is straightforward. Births are now consistently lower than deaths. In 2025, China recorded 7.92 million births, falling below 8 million for the first time. Deaths reached 11.31 million. The natural population growth rate was minus 2.41 per thousand. China has made stabilizing birth numbers a key policy goal. Leaders have talked about cutting preschool costs, offering childcare subsidies, and encouraging people to marry and have children. But so far, these policies seem to be slowing the decline, not reversing it. Birth numbers are closely tied to marriage numbers. In 2013, China saw a peak of 13.47 million couples getting married. After that, the number fell almost every year. By 2019, it dropped below 10 million. In 2022, it hit a low of 6.84 million. In 2023, after the pandemic ended, marriages briefly rebounded to 7.68 million, which helped births tick up slightly in 2024. But most analysts see this as a one-time bounce, not a lasting trend. In the first 3 quarters of 2025, 5.15 million couples got married, slightly more than a year earlier. That suggests births in 2026 could see a technical rebound, but it's unlikely to change the long-term direction. Deeper structural forces are at work. First, the cost of marriage and raising children hasn't really gone down. Job instability and weaker income expectations make young people more cautious. Second, there are simply fewer people of marriageable age. People born in the 1990s are 56 million fewer than those born in the 1980s. And those born in the 2000s are another 8.85 million fewer than the 1990s group. Third, attitudes are changing. Late marriage, no marriage, and no children are becoming more common. And this isn't just a China problem. Japan, South Korea, Singapore, and many European countries have lived with low birth rates for years. In Japan, births in 2024 fell to just 686,000. In South Korea, the total fertility rate is only 0.75. In this context, fewer marriages and fewer births form a loop. Fewer marriages mean fewer babies. Fewer babies mean even fewer people to marry in the future. These demographic shifts are already changing the country in visible ways. First, more regions are losing people. At the time of China's 7th census, only 6 regions had shrinking populations. By 2024, that number had risen to 20. Second, aging is accelerating. In 2024, people aged 60 and above made up 22% of the population. Those 65 and older accounted for 15.6%. Official forecasts say that by 2050, the ratio of workers to retirees in the pension system could approach 1-to-1. Policies like delayed retirement, personal pension accounts, and birth support programs are all responses to this pressure. Third, shrinking cities are being reorganized. China is experimenting with optimizing administrative divisions in areas that keep losing people. The method is simple. Streamline agencies and merge districts. In northeast China, some towns and sub-districts have already been dissolved due to population loss. This trend could spread to central, western, and even parts of eastern China. Fourth, the education system is slimming down. In 2024, the number of children in kindergartens fell by 5.09 million, marking the second year in a row with a drop of more than 5 million. Primary school enrollment fell by 2.52 million in just 1 year. In northeast China, nearly half of all primary schools have disappeared over the past decade. This student shortage is now spreading towards central and western regions. The number of full-time teachers in kindergartens and primary schools has also begun to decline. Fifth, real estate faces long-term pressure. There's a saying in China's property industry: in the long run, it's all about population. When the population keeps shrinking, demand for new housing shrinks too. With supply already high, housing prices face long-term downward pressure. In some smaller cities, weak industries, population loss, and large housing inventories are piling up, raising the risk of prices collapsing in what people call Hegang-style decline. China's story is no longer just about growth. It's also about contraction and how a shrinking population will quietly reshape the country for decades to come.